What's going on, everyone? Welcome to my channel. My name is Nick, and today I'm going to be showing you the Revopoint MIRACO 3D scanner. I've had my hands on this thing for a few months now. This is an all-inclusive 3D scanner. Now, what I mean by that is I don't have to be tethered to a laptop to complete my 3D scans. I can literally pack this scanner up, head out to a location, pull it out, and just start my scanning. Many scanners on the market just don't offer this kind of flexibility. So when I saw the MIRACO, I had to test it out. What I'll be showing you in this video is a complete walkthrough of the scanner first. Then we'll check out the scanning interface, and last, I'll complete 2 scans. First, I'll complete a full color scan of a 90s action figure. Then we'll move on to something more intricate, a toy Millennium Falcon. There's a ton of detail in this thing, so I'm excited to see how the MIRACO performs. Alright, let's get right to it. Now, the Revopoint MIRACO is a damn beautiful scanner. It's not too heavy for being a fully integrated scanner. By that, I mean you're not tethered to some kind of laptop or smartphone. It is completely wireless. Just pull it out, turn it on, and you can start your scanning. It has a very premium feel to it, and I love the rubberized hand grips on each side of the scanner. Across the front of the scanner, we have the long distance sensors and the short range sensors. These give the MIRACO the ability to scan objects as small as a pushpin, all the way up to something as large as a helicopter. I don't know who's going to scan a helicopter, but you have that flexibility. So the range that you can get with this scanner is quite amazing. The screen on the MIRACO also swivels to give you the ability to go up and under objects to get those hard to reach scanning areas. One small gripe that I have is I wish that the screen swiveled to the side or even flipped all the way around. That way, when we're not using the scanner, you can protect the screen. On the bottom, there's a tripod screw mount. This is perfect for attaching a monopod so that you can extend it high up and get those hard to reach high areas. Over on the right hand side is the power button. Long press it and it will boot straight up. Once the scanner is completely booted up, you're given the scan screen. The entire screen is a touchscreen and works very well, similar to a smartphone, and is very responsive. If you drag from the top down, similar to a smartphone, it will give you the settings screen. And some of these features are pretty cool. First up is the Wi-Fi connection, which is pretty straightforward. Next is the casting feature. Now, we use Rokus in our home and have smart TVs, so when I click the casting button, it displays all the smart devices here and you can connect directly to them. As of right now, I really don't think I have a use for this, but if you were scanning in a business and you were trying to teach your employees on how to use the scanner, you could easily cast this to the big screen and then everybody can follow along. The next feature allows you to flip the screen, so if you have the screen flipped out, you can rotate it to give you a better orientation of the scanner interface. The next button is the screenshot tool. I'm not sure what you would use this for, but it is available. And next to that, you can do a screen recording of your entire interface. I can record all of the interface with this tool and give you that full screen playback on everything. I can also see this being useful for recording your screen when you have an issue. You could record what you're doing, send it in to support, and get some help. The last feature is the settings button, which lets you check for software updates, view quick start guides, and watch some video tutorials. Revopoint has some great tutorials, so I definitely recommend checking that out. You can also change the Wi-Fi network on this page as well. And the last features on this page allows you to turn up the volume, screen brightness, and create a support ticket right from the device. Alright, now let's quickly go over all the different buttons and dials on the main scanner screen. This scanner has a ton of control. Along the left-hand side, you see 2 camera screens. The top is for the infrared camera, and the bottom is used for color capture. The infrared screen allows you to zoom in by 2 times. Tapping the auto button turns off the auto exposure, which will allow you to adjust the exposure by hand using the dial. This is great if you notice your infrared screen giving you a lot of red areas on the screen. You can turn off the auto exposure and control it yourself. Now, the red color in the screen is for overexposure in your shots, and the blue is for the very dark underexposure shots. So the goal is to keep that camera view in the black and white range as much as possible. The camera screen right below is for color gathering. I tend to use this when scanning to make sure that I'm scanning the correct spot on my models. Now, when the sun icon is orange, that means you're shooting in auto white balance. If you need to adjust that, just tap it and it'll switch to the WB icon, which will give you control to use the up and down widget and control your white balance. If you find that your model is way underexposed and you need some light, then you can turn on the scanner's lights right here. The auto button at the bottom is for turning on and off your auto exposure, same as for the infrared camera. Next is the near and far feature. For the near feature, you should be scanning small detailed objects. For the far option, you would be scanning large objects and capture larger scanning areas. And if you're scanning larger objects, it will keep your tracking and faster scanning movements. Now, don't think that you can't scan large objects with the near mode. You can definitely use this mode, but it will scan a lot slower because it's collecting more data points. Tracking will most likely get lost when scanning large objects, so just understand the difference with these two modes. Now, along the top is one of the most important features. You have 5 sections broken down from too near to too far. As you increase your distance away from your scanning model, the color graph will change and move from excellent to good to too far. So this is where you want to actively check while performing your scan. Next to the distance widget, you can turn on your base removal. The base removal feature is like a smart eraser for your 3D scanner. When you scan something sitting on a table, the scanner might pick up the table as well. Base removal tells the scanner, hey, just grab the object, not the table. So it erases the flat surface underneath and keeps only the object you're scanning. But if your object has a flat bottom that you want to keep, like the base of a trophy, you should turn it off so that it doesn't erase that part by mistake. The next feature is the scanning distance. You can control how close and how far the scanner should be looking. By default, it's set to a range of 300 to 700 millimeters, which is about 12 to 28 inches. This option gives you the flexibility and control over your scanning. The next icon here is where you can turn color scanning on and off. The MIRACO has the ability to scan full color in 4K and 8K modes. Remember, only scan color if you absolutely need it. This will drastically increase your scanning size. The 3-switch icon is your scanning settings. You can change your accuracy, alignment, which is the type of scan you're doing, object type, which has the option for dark objects, and turning color mode on and off and selecting the 4K and 8K modes. To start a scan, you can choose to continuously scan your object or use a single shot, which is like taking multiple pictures of your object. I have never really used the single shot feature and mainly use the continuous scan feature. Next, let's go ahead and capture our first 3D scan, and I can show you the process in real time. Once I'm done, I can show you how the MIRACO can even edit your entire model before exporting it to the RevoScan software. Alright, let's go ahead and get our first MIRACO scan going. We're going to use this 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I believe this character is called Toka. I'm going to use a turntable. It's a battery operated, so it's going to turn for me. I'm just going to turn it on and then slow it way down, because when you turn it on, it's got batteries. I forget which button. There we go. It's a little fast. So there we go. So I slowed it way down. I've got the Revopoint MIRACO booted up. So when you're getting ready to do your scan, I'm going to try and show you the actual object as I scan it too. So what I like to do is I point the camera. I use this as my reference because it's easy to see everything. But first you want to make sure we're in near mode, because obviously we're scanning something very small. Auto mode can be turned on. It does a really good job. As long as you have good lighting, the auto mode does a really good job. And we want to make sure that so as you can see, as I move closer, we're getting in the too near mode. So what we want to do is pull it back. And as you can see, as I go back, this is right about where it wants me to stand or hold the scanner. So what we're going to do, I'm going to hold it in this area. Since this is going to be turning on its own, all I really have to do is make sure I kind of just scan kind of at the top, angled down, and then we'll do a full rotation. We'll bring it down a little bit, get some more data, and then to get underneath the arms and all that, to get a full scan, I can flip it upside down and we can scan it from underneath too. So we're going to use a continuous mode. I have base removal on, because we don't want this base to be scanned, which is black, so it's probably not going to pick it up anyways. That's basically it. We'll shoot it in full color so we have the color data of it as well. Let's go ahead and get started. Just making sure I'm in the right distance and the excellent right up here. Go ahead and get started. You can see it turns green. Over here on the left, you can see where I've got a little bit of overexposure on the horns, a little bit of underexposure around the edges. We're getting nice clear green over here on the right hand side. How many frames it's collecting. So I think we've got almost an entire rotation. I'm just going to let it go a little bit more just to make sure. I'm going to move down. I'm getting a little too close. Pull it back a little bit. Now as you move slow, it doesn't lose its tracking. And basically the tracking is, it recognizes different points on the model. All right, now I'm going to pause it and then I'm going to flip it. As you pause it, you can see too. So this is great here. So you can zoom in with 2 fingers, kind of look and see. As you can see underneath, you know, we're missing data here, under the chin. So we're going to go ahead and collect that data right now. You see a little floating, it might be a little hard to see. You can see little floating artifacts right here, but I'll show you how the scanner will remove all of that stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this upside down. Now this is where you could actually use the screen rotate, which is really cool. It's going to be hard for you to see because I got to angle it upwards. I'm going to push the continue button again. And what we want to do is make sure we get our tracking back. There it goes. So it found the tracking again. So what I'm going to do is slowly move up and angle it towards the bottom of the model. I mean, I'm sure you're having a hard time seeing, but I think you understand what I'm doing. I'm a little close, so I'm going to pull back a little bit. There we go. I'm going to let it run, try and get underneath those arms as it goes by. I know you're not able to see exactly what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to pause. And now, let's see. I'm actually going to flip this back again. It caught a little bit of the base as I was trying to scan. I'm mostly just checking. So it looks like we're good. It's got data points underneath. We've got a little bit of pixelation, that floating artifacts and stuff, but the software will actually. So if you use 2 of your fingers and move, you can pan your model around. Pulling in and out like this is zooming just like a smartphone. So as you can see, there's a little bit of artifacting right here. But I think we're good. I think this should be good. We're going to give this a test. So I'm going to pause this turntable real quick. So once we're satisfied, you hit the check mark right here. You got all these little artifacts, which we can clear that up. I'm more interested to see how this does. So I've messed around with the fusion and the meshing and all this stuff. I think the one-tap edit does a really good job. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that. It's going to take about 4 minutes. So I'm going to let that process right now. Actually, it looks like it's going to be less than 4 minutes. It's moving pretty quick, but it might slow down here at the end. As you can see, I can see in the background, it's already cleaned a lot of the stuff up. And there you go. We're missing a little bit right in here. These little holes, you could see the model's not completely solid. Let's check underneath. Looks like we might have missed a little bit on the arm there. Obviously the feet, and it looks like those little sections on the knees and underneath there. But we're pretty good. So the next thing you can do, you can actually start, before you even pull it into the software, you can edit using this lasso tool. You can, circle, which when you click, you can see this little square pop up right here. and it actually lets you can actually guide yourself, which is pretty slick feature. So I lassoed that around, and you can just delete it. So you can go in and edit different things. Whoops. Looks like I got this whole thing down here. You can just lasso around it and delete. Don't need that. Oh, so it looks like we're missing some of the chest. So you got, while you're in this mode, you can go back to your raw scanning data right here. Then you can go to where it fuses it together and cleans it up, and then the meshed version, which is basically your 3D model. So I did the fast mode. Let's go ahead and try a detailed one-tap edit. It's going to take about 7 minutes, so we'll see how fast it goes. I'm going to overwrite my fast version. All right, so our detailed version, as you can see, the quality, I mean, I'm going to try and come in close. The quality is significantly better. There's still spots that we had missed for our scan. You can see the hole right there in the chest. You can fill all that in either with the built-in software on MIRACO or in the Revopoint scan software as well. I mean, if you weren't happy with your scan, you can go back. You could literally just save this one and do another scan, but let's go ahead and go back. I'm going to do another scan of this model. This time I'm going to move our scan over to the side so that you can see a little bit better. It wants me to be, see, as I move forward and back, you can see that graph move. So it basically is saying, okay, well, it wants me to be right in this area right here. So I think you could see the scan object in the background, but let's go ahead and try a new scan. I'm going to turn on this little, we have near turned on, everything's in full auto right now. I'm going to start towards the top and then kind of slowly move down. See if we can get a lot of those spaces that were missed. Yeah, you can't see the model I'm scanning. I'm going to move so you don't get a glare with the lighting. So it's doing a good job so far. So we got a full rotation. I'm going to move down a little bit. Wanted to move the camera so you could see. So if you move too quick, see how if I move around, it quickly will find it again, but you get a little artifacting, which the software is going to fix all that. I think you should be able to get a good view. I mean, you could literally go around 10 times around your scan, and as it goes around, it's just going to collect more data that you miss. So let's go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and flip this now. Flipping it upside down. It's going to take a second for it to catch up. I'm going to move the camera down just a little bit for you to see. It's having trouble finding the tracking. Let me move back up a little. There we go. So if you have trouble, just move it back kind of where it was, and then slowly, I'm trying to get underneath now. And again, if you're going to make big movements like change positions or reposition your scanner, just hit the pause button and then resume. I think it's going to be a lot more detailed, capture everything that was kind of missed on the last one. It is having a little bit of trouble with the darker knee pads, it looks like, and the chest. That's why I had a hole. All right, let's go ahead and check out the scan now. It still looks like it's having trouble with those dark knee pads. So let's do this. Let's try a whole new Let's just save it. Save and start a new one. I'm going to go into my settings. I'm going to go object type, and I'm going to change that to dark. So we've got high on feature. We're not using the markers or the global markers. So you can use markers on the object, global markers. You got the color turned on. I just have it on 4K, which, as you can see, it's capturing it almost exactly as it is. So there's no sense in changing it to 8K. So turn on dark mode on the object. Let's see if it's able to capture it better now. So I'm going to, hopefully you're able to see it. Let's move this back and up slightly. All right. Let's try the dark mode and see how it does with our model in those little dark areas. Because it seems to be scanning it just as good as without dark mode on. So you can see right there under where it's counting the frames, it says high, feature, and dark. Those are the settings that we have turned on. So I'm just going to let it capture all this. I probably need to go up a little bit. I'm going to go up to get the top of this. I'm just going to point that. You can see down here, this is where I'm actually looking. All right, I'm going to come back down slowly. And see the difference that we get in the darker areas. Just trying to capture those leg data. I still haven't got underneath them, so we'll do that here in a second. I'm going to shoot up underneath. My distance, let me come in just a little bit, I guess. Oop, too much movement. Lost its tracking. It'll find it again. There you go. So let's pause. Now I'm going to flip Mirako upside down, point it up, and push continue. It'll take a second for that tracking to catch up again. Making sure that we're still under the excellent mode. It's having trouble getting that tracking back. Let me go back up a little bit now that I'm upside down. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to slowly move down so that it understands that I'm trying to shoot up underneath. I mean, I think we're pretty good now. One more rotation around to the front, and then we'll call this one done and see how well it does. Pause, flip it back around. It captured the ring this time. That's funny. All right, we're good there. We're gonna go ahead and check mark and turn this thing off again. All right, it's all done. I don't want to get any glare. So remember we had a hole here. Oh, it looks like we missed some right there. The scan must have missed it. Still that little top area, I guess I probably didn't do enough time on the top. So we got a couple holes there. Let's check the knee pads. Yep, see it still didn't like those knee pads, so we're still getting holes in the knee pads, but I mean, you could see just, I mean, how detailed. It's really, really good. So if you tap that little icon right there, the 3 circles, you can kind of see the mesh a little bit better. There, it'll show you where we're missing some stuff. The holes aren't actually a big deal because you can fill them in quite easily with the software. I'm not even worried about it, but it's a pretty good scan. Again, you can go back through the different steps: raw, fused, meshed, and then textured is the last step. You can remove a lot of it by lassoing. You wanted to lasso and just delete, delete. Rotate the model around. I can lasso all of that. Go very careful around. Delete. So you go into mesh mode, mesh over on the right hand side. You've got your fill holes section. Let's go ahead and detect them. Rectangle around. Select those ones, fill hole curved. And that's how, basically how easy and simple it is. You can't even tell. Going around. And you can just do all of them all at once or a few at a time. And that's basically how you would fill all your gap scans. Alright, so now that we have our scan completed, let's go ahead and share it to our computer. So basically if you go back to the home, this is like basically the home screen. So if you click on this button over here, the model button, it will take you to all your models that are loaded and saved on the scanner itself. So you can click the three dots, click share. We're going to do Wi-Fi. So it's asking for a code here, and I will show you over in a second on how to get that. So in the RevoScan software, the way you import and get your code is going to File, Import from Mirako, Wi-Fi. That will link to the software. Looks like it's already connected successfully, and it is uploading. I'll let that go ahead and continue. Now that we have our first scan imported into the RevoScan 5 software, let's quickly go over each of these sections in more detail. The first icon on the left is our scan button. This is the page where you can connect your Mirako and scan from your computer software rather than the scanner itself. First, you would need to make sure that your scanner is connected. Then you would select your scanning options just like you would on the interface in the Mirako scanner. I personally chose the Mirako scanner specifically because it's a wireless scanner and we don't have to be tethered to a computer. But having this option to scan directly to your computer is also a great option. The one-click edit is a quick tool that automatically cleans up your 3D scan with just one button. When you use it, the software will smooth the surface, remove extra floating points, and fix small holes all at the same time. It's an easy way to make your scan look cleaner and more finished without having to fine-tune each step by hand. The one-point cloud edit section gives you a full set of tools to clean and prep your 3D scan before turning it into a printable 3D model. You can remove unwanted floating points in the background, smooth out bumpy areas, fix overlapping scan data, and isolate only your main object. Once your point cloud looks good, the Fusion tool combines all the scan data into one solid, editable 3D model ready for export. Once your scan is fused into a mesh, the Mesh Edit tool lets you clean up and get ready for printing. You can smooth out rough surfaces, fill holes, remove unwanted floating pieces, and even reduce the triangle count to make the file lighter. This tool helps refine the final shape so it looks cleaner, prints better, and is easier to share and edit. The Texture tool lets you wrap photorealistic color over your 3D model, making it look like the real object. And if you scanned your model into multiple parts, the Merge tool lines them up and combines them into one clean, complete shape, ready for editing or export. I think the export button is pretty self-explanatory. For a simple model like our action figure, I'm going to use the one-click edit button. The results that I get should be sufficient for something simple like this. Over here on the right-hand side menu, you can see the default recommended settings that the one-click edit will perform. Once the one-click edit is complete, you will see a much more polished 3D scan. The software fused, meshed, and textured our model. It also removed floating objects that were not part of our model. Now this is not necessarily the end. We can still go into the fusion and mesh sections and fine-tune our settings, but I think I'll save this for another video. What I would like to do is move on to our most anticipated part of the video, which is a live over-the-shoulder scan of the toy Millennium Falcon. And let's go ahead and get right to that. All right, so I went ahead and made the decision to do my scanning of the Millennium Falcon outside. We're gonna have better lighting out here. I think we're gonna get a better scan. So let's go ahead and get right to it. I'm gonna also record on the scanner itself so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'll dub in both shots so you can see what my movements are along with the scanner recording as well. So I think it will be good. I tried to do some shooting from my chest to the scanner, but my arms move around, so my arms are like this, moving around trying to scan so much that it doesn't do a good job. I think this will be a better option. I am also going to turn on the light to the scanner just to hit those little dark areas. It's got a lot of grooves throughout the Millennium Falcon. So let's go ahead and get right to it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scan from the front end here. We're going to work our way down and just kind of go back and forth like this. Scanner recording right now. So right off the bat, I can completely see a difference in speed and the tracking. I'm able to scan a lot more information a lot faster. So definitely a good idea to do this scan outside. I would definitely recommend lots of lighting. I figured my office wasn't going to work as well because I've got 3 different lights in there, but they're just some cheap lights, so I wasn't expecting much. And that's always been a struggle with recording videos for my channel. I've got a small little office area. The lighting just isn't sufficient enough. So hopefully here soon I will be able to fix a lot of that. Finding a new space, and I'll do an update on some of that information as well. But I'm just moving around. Any black areas that I see, I'm just trying to fill in that data, that scan data. I'm going to come around the sides here pretty soon. I'm almost done with the entire top. We're at getting close to 1,000 frames. Looks like lost tracking right here. Let's go ahead and come back a little bit. I'm going to pause it. So far, everything looks pretty decent. Let's go ahead and shoot here, and then I'm going to get around the edge. Keep having a little bit of issue right here on the side. I'm just going to undo a little bit here and go back. The reason I'm doing that is I'm not sure exactly what this all is right here on the cockpit area. Looks like it happened a while back, so should be okay. I'm gonna go ahead and sit. Try and get a good shot of this front area right here. Problem is finding those tracking points might be a little struggle. Found it. So far, so good. Pause. Okay. You can see the front end is pretty good. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna go around and get this side now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start here. Get into that excellent zone. Yep, there we go. If you have good tracking points, it'll find it quick. And the tracking points meaning like just geometry that the scanner can recognize. I'm gonna go ahead and move up, see if I can get some more of this satellite dish. And then maybe this turret a little bit. And then come back down. A little close. I'm gonna pause there. Hopefully I can pick back up with that little circle. Yeah. That whole back end got a little off there. I'm gonna go back, see if I can fix that. Let me go back one more. All right. Let's start here. It is a little windy today. Oh, come on. You almost had it. Also capturing that little piece that sticks down below the Millennium Falcon will be a great way to be able to capture and use that to scan the bottom half. So this little area down in here will be a great way. Maybe I'm gonna pull it back. I'm gonna pull it back a little bit. Let me adjust the camera. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up underneath and capture this area up under here. So let's see if we can get our tracking. Yes, come on. It's having trouble for some reason. No, that's not it. As you can see, it I don't know why it was doing that. I'm actually gonna sit on my legs. Okay. Okay, let's see. Now, let's try this again. Resume. I'm going to go into the excellent area. Perfect. There. Now I can scan all those missing parts in that whole surface area. And I can use that surface area to pick up my scan for when I flip it. So let's see. Oh yeah, perfect. So we're looking great. We're at 2,500. We got, I think we can do a max of 4,000 frames. So might just capture this little section right here on the side, and then we're going to flip it over. So I'm going to start with this. It's not picking it up. Unless I need to I guess you can see pretty good. Okay, let's see. So that's the area I'm looking for. Come on, that should be plenty. Plenty of great points right there. It's not liking it for some reason. Nope. Wrong side. See, it gets confused with these little portholes. Captured the wrong side. And one feature I wish that we had was to be able to undo an entire last scan. Looks like we're missing a lot of that radar in the cockpit right there. Let me go undo one more. So I know I can get a good capture off of this area right here. So I'm gonna go right in here. Excellent zone. Yep. For some reason, it just does not like to capture those. So I'm going to get that corner. Pause. Okay. All right. 2,700 frames. So right up here, it's hard. I can't really show you here, but I can show you here. Well, it's going to have a glare, but up here you can see the frames. I'll just mark it on the video. We're at 2,700. We want to get, well, you know what? I also want to get more of this radar. So let's see if we can get that real quick. Good. Maybe a little bit of the turret. Okay. Done. Top and sides are done. Let's hope we can get a good one on there. So obviously what I'm going to do is come around the back where we already got it. Hopefully we can pick up a good start tracking points and just move on with it and get the whole rest. Shouldn't take more than less than a minute. There it goes. Oh, it's picking it up. There it goes. So it picks it up and then it'll zoom in when it's like pretty much ready for you. Too close. Looks like the cockpit might be off a little bit. The bottom is off. Let's see. What's it doing? It started good. I'm going to go back just a few.
can see it's starting to erase the tip right up by the forks. Just going back, 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 back. What's it doing? What the heck? Alright, so for one, I'm out here, I'm starting to sweat. For some reason when I was undoing, it closed out, but I was able to load the model back in. We can resume. I'm not able to go back now and undo some of these scans, so all of my choice is going to be is to just overwrite it. So that'll be the plan. I'm at 3,200 frames. I got 800 left, about 750 left. So let's go ahead and resume. I'm gonna go around the other side now. Start recording on the screen again. It's at 5 seconds. Resume scan. So hopefully we can pick back up and yep, it's doing good. Thank goodness it saved the file for me to be able to resume again. Now basically what I need to do is just fill in all this. Looked like it kind of moved around just slightly. I'm not sure why it's doing that. It's kind of moving around. Yeah, it's angled wrong now. Well, that didn't work. I mean, I can try and undo it all the way back and see if it'll work again. Maybe it won't crash this time. They really need to put in it. Undo all last scans from the last time you resume, because having to do this is really annoying. Undo 13, 19, 20 frames. I don't know what, I've never seen that before. 50 frames. Yeah, if they can make it to where you can just undo an entire scan chunk from your previous, that would help a lot. I mean, it looks like it was kind of getting there, but then something happened with I think because of this step up on here, it was just not liking that. So I'm gonna start here, and I'm gonna, it's doing a good job at capturing it and finding it, so I'm gonna go this way slowly and get this ridge, and then I'm gonna angle it and try and, we're getting close to 4,000 frames, so I gotta move. Now it looks to be way more lined up. Just about there. We're almost at 4,000. Boom, 4,000. All right, capture limit reached. I think we did a good, I think we got it. Barely got it. I mean, it's a pretty good model. I think I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm gonna go inside because I am dying from this heat. Stop the screen recording. I'm gonna go ahead and import this onto the computer, and then we'll get it all meshed out.
Now that we finished scanning the Millennium Falcon, I want to show you the results inside the software. It's not a perfect scan, and honestly, I didn't expect perfection. Just like with 3D printing, your first project usually comes out pretty decent, but you really improve as you get more familiar with the tools. And with this scanner, I can already see that the experience plays a big role. That said, I think that the results from this highly detailed toy were pretty solid. I definitely learned a lot during this project, and I hope that my live scan and commentary give you a real over the shoulder look at how the process works, especially if you're considering a scanner like the Morocco for your own projects. Now, I know some of you are probably curious about the Ninja Turtle scan, and yes, I did print it. Let's take a look. As you can see, I got a pretty decent match to the original figure. But if you look closely, some of the really fine details didn't carry over. The inside of the thigh has a similar structure, but these grooves aren't as deep. Similar on the arm, the skin bumps and texture like this crisscross pattern are missing as well. Around the back, the shell details didn't fully make it through either. Let's go ahead and compare the scan results to the 3D model in Bambu Studio. This will help confirm that the missing detail came from the scan, not the print. Sure enough, the details aren't present in the mesh, so the printer couldn't recreate what wasn't really there to begin with. Now, I'm not 100% sure if dialing in the scanner settings could have pulled more of that micro detail. I did use the one-click edit, so it's totally possible that there's room for improvement using the manual fusion and texture settings. That's something I'll experiment with in a future video. But overall, the Revopoint MIRACO really impressed me. It's a portable, powerful scanner packed with features, and it opens up a ton of creative possibilities. I'm excited to keep learning and pushing its limits. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you have a second, drop a comment below if you're in the market for a 3D scanner. Let me know what you're planning to scan. I always love hearing about your projects. Again, my name is Nick. Have a great day, and as always, happy printing.